Crosby and Luke Watson from WYLV Projects.
Wanyaga, Nagano, Nacham, Iti between New Ori, Mobi Muma with Alan Duawa Yangu. That's a bit of my language. I'm a traditional owner from Bundaberg. My grandmother, she's a Brew, and my grandfather is a Johnston. And just like to say that it's pretty awesome to stand here in front of you guys today. A lot of wisdom, and a lot of enthusiasm from the youth, and it's important that we come together because the youth, they'll take it to the next level. And also to stand here with my fellow brothers, Tim Augustine and Les, also Indigenous men as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Thanks, Luke. It is a privilege to kick back this morning and have a yarn with you fellas here. It's an opportunity, I suppose, as community people to come together to talk about and share the knowledge that we have, whether it's hazard guess 16 years of wisdom or 17 or whatever, just to come together. So we've got to be a bit strategic. No women, blokes can take a bit of a hit. But anyway, bit of history. Wild Projects, I suppose, is a newly funded non-for-profit organisation. And going back a fair few steps, I suppose, to probably 15, 16 years ago, where Wild Projects was ideas, thoughts in my head that went down onto paper, and then over a number of years, working in community, meeting people like yourselves and Tanya. I worked with Impact for quite a number of years to gain a lot of skills and experiences, quite beneficial to your journey and where you want to go. But anyway, Wild Projects is funded through the Indigenous Advancement Strategy, and we've received funding for 2.5 years to work with Indigenous youth from 15 to 19 years old. So it's a privilege to work with our youth, and it's good to work together with community to make things happen. So I suppose our journey started more so from a lot of things that happened in the community, from the floods. We started taking a lot of Indigenous youth out onto properties to help our primary producers recover after the floods, and just to give back to communities. So the heart of Wild Projects was that giving sort of mentality. It was better to give. So we're taking at-risk youth onto properties where primary producers themselves were in crisis. They needed a hand. We had youth that were in crisis that needed a hand, and we just come together and we've done whatever we could do safely. And that was heaps, because the word safely goes out the door when you're in the bush. We just do it. And that's just a bit of an Australian thing. Let's just get in and have a go. So we've got a couple of stories here of local youth that themselves were on a bit of a journey, and we might, I suppose, put Jeremy's story up, and then Luke and I will, I suppose, start to talk about a few things that we see that are good for youth to have in their lives.
G'day, I'm Jeremy Ambram, I'm 22, I live in Sydney, I'm a performing artist. I started my training up in Brisbane at the Aboriginal Centre for Performing Arts. From that place I was granted a lot of opportunities that I took on, like working with some of Australia's top Indigenous directors like Leah Purcell, Wesley Enoch, Ivan Sen, and my next project is working with Wayne Blair down here in Sydney on a TV series that's coming out soon. I've worked with some Indigenous youth down in Cunnamulla, working on a show out there. I've done a workshop down in Good and Windy. I've been involved in the Queensland Indigenous Youth Leadership Program, where they voted me the Premier of Queensland back in 2013. I'm also part of a dance troupe, and we do contemporary Indigenous fusion, which is like traditional dancing and contemporary dancing mixed up. and we performed at the Sydney Opera House twice, Byron Bay Blues Fest 2014, the G20 in Brisbane last year. Earlier this year, 2015, All Stars on the Gold Coast. We performed there the quarter times, first quarter and half-time show. And I'm also working on a one-man show of Hamlet Shakespeare, and I'm performing that down here in Sydney and hopefully take it over to New York after that. But this kind of journey kind of started off in Bundaberg. I just finished high school and I had a gap year, and I had a career advisor that helped me get a job and stuff, and my career advisor was Brad Crosby. He was just the best person that I could have ever had. Never pressured me to do any jobs or something. We talked on the same level and kind of figured out what it is I wanted to do. And then when I wanted to do performing arts, like start up at the Aboriginal Centre for Performing Arts, he was supportive, helped me get what I needed done, and sent down to Brisbane to get it all happening. So that was like the best person I could have ever had behind to support me. And I just want to give that support back for his project, or Wild Projects, and help him get pushed for that. I believe in it. I think it's a great idea. As being an Indigenous youth, I think it's such a positive thing for young fellows to go out there in the bush, learn about the land, learn about what is actually out there, or how to look after it, and just that knowledge and that respect for the land, and give them something else to learn about and be proud about and to be a part of. And hopefully this project snowballs into something bigger and it spreads out through all of Australia. Just help look after the Indigenous youth and, that sense of pride and that respect for themselves too. And myself too, I'd love to be a part of it. Brad wants me to be a part of it, just bring out Brad. I'll do it. But yes, thank you for everything. Thank you, Brad. All the best. Cheers.